This is the Cult Faction Podcast, episode 55, Back in Business.
Superman.
Hi, welcome to the Cult Faction Podcast, episode 55, Back in Business. Our 80s odysseys come to an end. We've consumed our body weight in chocolate, and now we're back to chew the fat and talk nonsense. I'm your host, Damien Hicks, and as ever, I'm joined by
Paul Hawkins
and Brett Summers.
So before we meander our way into news, views, and what we've watched, I think, Brett, you've got an announcement to make.
Yep, you have got just over 24 hours left in our He-Man and She-Ra huge giveaway. You can win the complete original cartoon series box set collections at cultfaction.com. Just go there, have a go at the question, send your answers in. You could have the power.
Power. Anything else? That was it?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
Right, see you
It's
next
not a bad
week.
competition.
It's not, no, it kind of...
I mean, you don't blimey. Poor Brett.
There was a little bit of build-up before we started recording. I thought there was going to be a little bit more, but that's fine. So we're back.
We are.
We're out of plutonium. We're not going to do any more time travelling for a little while. Not until we can rip off some more Libyan terrorists. So, how's our week been before we get into what we've watched? Anything exciting? Anyone?
Yeah, I've been to Wigan.
You've been to Wigan.
As punishment.
No, it was punishing. Yeah,
It felt like it.
Spent a week at the Snake Pit in Wigan. Catch wrestling, hardcore. You know the score. Very good.
Have you done your video so you can get your certificate yet?
No, I haven't had time. Nothing's been out. It's been bank holiday.
Although shout out to Lee, who did
Got
get
his
a certificate.
Yeah, level 1.
Level 1. What level 1? What catch wrestler? That sounds like a robber, or some bad villain from a superhero movie. Hey, watch out! Here comes a catch wrestler. That's all right. It's only a level 1. Yeah, but his sidekick doesn't even have the certificate.
Oh, he's been relegated to sidekick now.
Sidekick size. You know how the mighty have fallen.
You're not even Kato.
I could have beat Kate.
Well, not if you don't have the certificate, you can't.
No, but I've got the cool brown leather jacket like that dude does it. No one wants
And he
to
had a
in
car.
Hollywood.
You can't even drive.
Don't need to drive.
Well, you don't have a certificate, you don't have a license. What do you have?
Don't have hair.
Anyway. That's not big and brown. Sorry, Brad. I didn't mean to have a go at you then.
Yeah, this should be a safe space.
Yeah,
Not a...
sorry.
I thought we're in the tree of understanding. And the,
I'm just in a bad mood because
fruit
my
of
life
nurture.
is just Slimming World at the moment and boring stuff.
yeah.
It's crap.
Oh,
It is. It's boring.
I wish I never asked now. We've got
Well, I've had a
lack
great
of certificates, Slimming World.
time. I've had a great time, but I've been picked on by Paul.
Yeah.
But then, you know, what can you expect from someone that just drinks dodgy milk and poos all the time? That's your life, that is.
Fair enough. Well, in that case, if that's all we got,
Well, we had a bank weekend.
What have you been doing?
We socialised. We were all there.
that's true. We don't need to talk about that, do we?
Well, we could do, but that's probably one for a different podcast.
Yeah. So you walked home.
I did. I needed an
Bizarrely.
exercise. Had to get the steps in. Yeah, I don't actually remember why.
No, I
Homing
just about
instincts.
made it through the front door before I fell asleep. Literally, apparently, I was in the hallway.
No, I was at the bar waiting for
Sarah
Paul to
came
come back.
downstairs, just said, "Are you all right?" I went, "I'm so tired. Just want to go to sleep," and that's what I did.
I was at the bar waiting for Paul to come back for the drinks I bought. So I had to drink them before I could go look. 'Cause, you know,
And just like Forrest Gump, I was running home.
Run, Hawkins, run.
Yeah, that'll teach me.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's fun and what's the word?
Frivolity.
Thank you. That's the one, Paul. I'm
Therapy.
not even going to try and redo it. So that's the fun out of the way.
You might as well turn off, listeners.
Yeah.
That's it now.
And we'll see you next week.
Now we just get to the boring stuff of what we've watched. And I am going to start with...
Dun, dun, dun.
Ooh, where does the randomizer going to land?
Oh,
it's going to
I see
land
what you mean.
on Mr. Summers.
Oh, okay. Well, I finally managed to watch June today, in fact.
Oh, really?
I'm
Today?
guessing that's the
Yeah.
the new one, not the...
Yeah, the new. Yeah, the
Of
new
course
one.
you're not at school, are you?
Nope. Yeah. I'm really not sure what to think about it. Is it rubbish? No. Does it tell the story? No. Basically, you got, was it 2.5 hours of like the first 1.5 chapters of the book?
I was going to say, aren't they going for a Lord of the Rings
No, it's two
style?
films, isn't it?
Well, at the moment, the second one only got confirmed after the first one, so I can see why people who went to watch it probably thinking they were going to get the whole story
Okay,
weren't
me.
that happy. Yeah. So, but I don't know. Is it? I think they played a lot of the stuff down. A lot of the prophecy stuff was played down or not even mentioned. I think the I'm going to get it wrong now. Is it the Bene Gesserit, like the witch ladies and all that? That's
Ben and
like-
Jerry's, yeah.
That's ice cream, Paul.
Sorry.
You can't have that 'cause you're
Yeah,
not
no, I
swim
know.
fast.
Yeah, just all about the
Yeah.
calories.
But yeah, and even like that got played down because they're well creepy in the book and in some of the original in the David Lynch film. I don't know. It reminded me a bit of, not that I mean it's better than that. Don't get me wrong. But then when Netflix made the Death Note movie, and it was like sort of the American version of the Death Note movie, like no, the anime, the cartoons, and the whole phenomenon from Japan, and you know, and on its own, it's kind of a good film, but it was like the Fisher Price version of Death Note. You know, like they sort of dumbed it down a bit, took some bits out, made it
Fisher Price
so,
version.
they're sort of simple. The Ladybird version, the Ladybird book version, whatever. And I feel like that's what they've done a bit with June.
So, I think what you're forgetting, Brett, is this was visually stunning at the cinema. No, it was like that they, in their heads, they did it for the cinema experience.
Yeah, I get they're
As
trying to tell
opposed
the
to-
story, but a lot of that story didn't get told.
Yeah,
And
it was a lot of scenery. It was a lot of panning shots. Not much action.
not as bad as Breaking Bad. They loved the panning shot and scene, but especially that last season. But no, yeah, I don't know. It was because everyone in it is acting okay. There's
Yeah.
not like, oh, that's cheese. It just seemed to be really. I don't want to say it's not even bloated because they've cut stuff out, yet they've still managed to make it last longer. And it's sort of, and it ends weirdly. And I just can't understand why you would even commit to filming something like that.
Yeah.
If you didn't have a second one guaranteed already, because
Yeah.
you spent zillions on that film. Clearly, soundtrack's cool. You know, all the effects look brilliant. You got an amazing cast, but then you just have to end it and then hope that when you start filming the next one in 4 or 5 years' time, that everyone looks the same or it all fits back together again.
But that's the other thing, though. Maybe they only had enough money to do that amount of runtime. And let's face it, when it comes to the box office, unless it's Marvel, as Damien's often pointed out before, a lot of other films just struggle. So maybe the
Yeah, but-
producers
Yeah, but
were...
does it
but
have
there's-
to be as long as that in the first place?
But there's
I know that I've seen the original, but I'm talking 20 odd years ago and have vague recollections of it, and I've certainly not read any books or anything like that. So, does it actually have to be, what was it, 2 and something hours long to tell
So
maybe what half the story is?
the whole
not
thing
even
about...
half.
The
I'd
whole-
say
No. But what I
Yeah,
mean is,
that's what I'm
if
saying.
they're going, if they're going to make a film that they know they want a sequel for, could they not have done just 2 chunks? The first film is half the book or half the story. I don't even know how many books there
Yeah.
are, if there's more than one, or does it, to tell the story they want to tell, to let that story breathe? Does it have to be 2.5? Does it have to be 2.5 hours long to only get like 3 chapters worth of the story?
That's more than 3
No,
chapters.
it only ends with the overthrowing and then him stuck in the desert. and that's literally because the amount of times I've tried to read the book and then got lost in the end because trying to read it.
That's why I've not read it, because everyone tells me it's real hard.
I mean, it's good, but that basically they've pretty much got to the bit that I've always got to, and I've indented that book, so I was like, oh, these are all the bits I kind of know. I was like, but it was just, and I think like the stuff about his dreams and the visions he has and all that are kind of rushed over. I was like, I've got some dreams. Oh, cool. That's because and then it's just like, right, moving on.
I must admit, I wasn't necessarily blown away by it. It was just one of those first proper big films that I'd been to the cinema since lockdown.
I bet it was good on the big screen. I can see, yeah.
Well, it was, but it still didn't save the lack of action or lack of story. I think the pace was slow, but maybe that was because they were trying to make it visually stunning.
Visually stunning. Yeah, so that was that one. I mean, I don't even know what the review
does it
was.
actually in this, because I might watch this, but does it actually end, or does it do a Lord of the Feckin' Rings?
Yeah,
where your ass is numb, you've sat there for 3.5 hours, and then they go, oh look, we're going to walk over there, and then it ends.
That is the ending.
Right, that's it. I'm not watching it then.
What you just said is the ending.
Yeah.
Right, screw you guys, I'm going home. No chance.
But it's not even at to me, not even at a real. I suppose something major does happen, but but you're not. Wow! Oh my God! But it's not like a big turning point in the plot. But I don't know. I don't know what to think about it, because it is good, but it's not good. It's very Natalie Imbruglia. I'm torn.
No, that was good.
As long as you keep your clothes on and don't lie on the floor, we're all good.
So I've got the bloke from Casualty coming in a minute. No, I'd 6 out of 10.
Yeah, I'd say that's fair.
Fair enough.
Everyone in it is brilliant. No one acting wise is. They're all making the most of what they got, and and there's a very good cast there, mainly of if you had the odd screenshot, it looked like a really cool Marvel film, but with Aquaman in it as well. Because half the people in it are from.
That's pretty much what the poster was, wasn't it?
Yeah, and it was just, but did it deliver? I don't think so. Visually epic, yes. Storyline epic, I don't know. And if you'd never seen it before, or knew what Dune was, I don't know what you would think going in. Because at least, I've tried the book a few times. I've seen the original film. If you didn't know any of that, would you be like, oh, well, is that it? Because you might think that's where the book ends.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Yeah, did it introduce a franchise? I don't think it did. That would be and I think that's what it needed to do. If that's what they're planning to do, and
I don't know whether they're planning on making 3 films or whether the second one's just going to somehow close it off. I
can't believe they got that far and didn't have the second one guaranteed.
He genuinely looks a bit shell-shocked when he's trying to explain it, doesn't he?
Yeah.
I just genuinely, look, for something that big and that massive, and they didn't have all those guarantees penciled in.
Yeah.
They are rolling the dice. But that's one thing I watched anyway.
What about
a few
you, Paul?
other things. Go on, Paul.
So, I'll tell you something quickly that I rewatched, and this was Kong versus Godzilla.
Why?
Well, I just want to say, second time and third time round of watching it, there was actually a lot of excitement on the Hawkins couch. Lots of jumping around when Kong was killing Mecha Godzilla, or Mega Godzilla, as Connor likes to call him.
What did the kids think?
Connor loved it. Absolutely loved it. I was there going, no, it's still as bad as I remember. But yeah, I'm obviously not the target audience.
No.
And 6 to 7-year-olds probably are.
I liked it.
I didn't.
I just felt.
No, neither did I.
My problem
Arse
was.
gravy, I think was my synopsis.
My problem with it is that I think half the stuff just got cut out with the humans, so none of it made sense on the human part. But Godzilla and Kong having a fight was awesome, including the putting his shoulder back in against the big building.
Yeah, no, it wasn't.
No.
Like Mel Gibson.
If I want to watch a computer game, I'll just watch a computer game.
Say again?
If I want to watch a computer game, I'll watch a computer game.
Yeah.
Go back to the old days. What was that one with the dinosaur monsters? Rampage. I'd just go and watch that.
Speaking of computer games, though, I have spent a lot of time in the world between, or whatever they call it, in Elden Ring. I'm still playing it. I'm still.
Are you still getting killed by that person that keeps appearing
Well-
and killing you and dragging you somewhere else?
No. So I managed to.
That was where we were last time.
I
Someone kept
managed to
killing and
level up
dragging.
and somehow even still flukily kill him. I'm not sure whether I could. Now that I've beaten him, he doesn't pop up anymore. But if I hadn't have beaten him, I don't think I could have done it again. But yeah, the guy on the horse, he's gone now. And every time I think I'm doing all right, I then come to a big bad, and he just kills me instantly. So what I'm spending the majority of my nights doing when I'm not watching TV and films is, because it's all about leveling up, and you can only level up if you get points. And if you kill like a normal guy or a soldier, you only get like 60 points. And at the moment it takes me like 80,000 whatever they are to go to the next level. So the only way I can do that, I found one spot where there's like these 5 giants, and each one's worth 1,000 points. So I go around and kill them. I then reset back to my starting point, go around and kill them again, go around, carry this on until I got enough points to level up. And
You're a grinder.
yeah, and that's what I'm spending my time doing.
You're that guy in Dead Pixels. You get all the
there's
loot
just-
crates as well.
There's just no point attempting any of the harder bosses until you're like, god status. And the only way you can do that is if you're like level 100 on all of these different things or whatever. So yeah. Other than that though, it's a. I want to say it's a good game.
Enthralling.
It's just I can't play it yet because it's too hard.
Still need to do Horizon Forbidden West. That's an amazing game. I'm still playing that.
Yeah, but I'm committed now.
Wow, I'm nearly 80% complete now.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm probably about 4, 5. I don't know. Yeah. What about you, Damien? You been playing
I
Rampage?
just zoned out and was worried that next week I might come in and there'd be a Dungeons and Dragons board set out on the table with
You'd love that.
dressed up in
You used to
wizard
play Hero
costumes.
Quest.
A couple of times with
So
alcohol.
what about you?
So this is going to shock you both to the core. I've caught up with the Star Wars.
I thought you were going to say
World.
something random like Vera or Death in Paradise or something. I'm now fully caught up with Brett on Death in Paradise.
I am actually, but that's been and gone. I can't remember how that
So
ended.
you've
now.
watched the whole...
So the
Star
only one I
Wars
haven't
films?
watched now is the Solo. It's just called Solo, isn't it?
Yeah.
a solo Star Wars film. Or
So what do you think of Rogue One then?
So Rogue One's the first one, isn't it?
Yeah,
The
that's
first of the new ones.
when they.
I'd already seen that,
Yeah.
and it's just Ask Gravy because it's just a rehash of New Hope.
Oh no, Rogue One is the one before A New Hope.
Oh, Rogue One. Yeah, we talked about Rogue One the other week.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Oh, Force Awakens.
Force Awakens, rehash of New Hope, Ask Gravy. That's why I stopped watching them in the first place. The second one, whatever that's called. What's that
It's
called?
Force Awakens, then it's The Last Jedi, and then The Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's Force Awakens.
Yep.
The middle one is
Rises.
The Last Jedi.
Oh, the Last Jedi. Then it's the Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker. Right. So the middle one, Ask Gravy. And the
Oh.
last one, Ask Gravy. I
Cool.
mean, at what point, when did they suddenly have the ability to be physically on our plane when they're dead? When did that happen?
Yep.
End of the other ones, they're all blue and mystic, and they just arrive to go, "Oh, well done, you," kind of thing, and just
'Cause
be there
'cause
as a
Luke-
kind of
looks more powerful.
ethereal kind of essence to say, "Well done, we're watching over you." Now all of a sudden they can come up and stand in front of a
Well, they
in-
learn't
Yeah, but-
learnt more ways of the
no
Force.
Yeah, we-
bullshit. It's just
no,
arse gravy, and it really pisses me off.
no, if you go back and watch it,
Go on.
he doesn't actually. When he goes across the sand, he doesn't make any.
Yeah, no, but it
indentations
doesn't
in the
matter.
sand or anything.
But
or
then
the-
you've got old Mizzy Guts who killed Han Solo. He's
Kylo
doing the
Ren.
same thing,
Huh?
fighting all over the show,
Yeah,
and
he's alive.
not towards the end. He's not.
No.
Oh, you're on about the other one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yep. Yep.
So it's just arse.
Well, I think there's a lot of Star Wars fans that would agree with you.
They established the rules of whether you're dead or not in the first 3 films. Don't start fecking about. And what's all this business? What's his name? The miserable one.
Kylo Ren.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't know. He's just a moody teenager that has issues.
Well, you want to be his granddad because, like, well, to be fair, like, if Luke tries to kill him, if your uncle tries to kill you, that couldn't.
No.
do damage.
It's just, but then, like, she has a fight with him on the
Thing.
fallen, whatever it was, Death Star thing.
Yeah.
They managed to shoehorn Han Solo back in there for a cameo. And then all of a sudden, he's back again towards the end of the other one, fighting Palpatine.
good again.
What? Yeah, and at which point does it? And now, admittedly, it was 4:00 in the morning. I was watching this. He's there, then he's not there.
What?
Where's he gone?
Hold on, you on about when he was like transported over to see Rey?
Yeah.
Well, that was that was Palpatine, wasn't it? Using his force to enable them to do that.
Yeah. So, but they can touch.
Well, that was the rare thing. I forgot the
Oh, here we
name
go.
of
It's
it
the
now.
rare thing.
No, but
Only certain Jedis can.
No, it was. It had
Can
a name,
harness
didn't
the
it?
power to swap lightsabers across thousands of miles across a galaxy.
Yeah, they pretty much.
F off.
They pretty much said that.
Exactly. F off.
It was a bit far fetched for a lot of fans. Actually,
I get far-fetched. That's fine. We're talking about a bloody film set a long time ago in a galaxy far away in space where they can rebuild arms, but not whole bodies, so you never actually die. Anyway, but I get there's still a f***ing limit, and we can swap lightsabers. Or
well, this is why there's calls to try and come up with another trilogy, isn't there? That almost writes this one out.
You just carry it on now and accept what's in that, and just carry on with something better. That's what you need to do now. There's no point going, well, actually, that doesn't happen now.
Yeah, but then you painted yourself into a corner because no matter what.
Well, I think that's what happened though.
Random Jedi will have the power to
time travel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's what they've done because most of 3 seem to be trying to undo anything that got done in 2.
Yeah.
And the thing I liked about 2 is that when you Kylo Ren's like to Rey, no, like your parents weren't anything special. They weren't anything, because we're all hoping that like was Luke her dad, was someone else her dad, were they brother and sister and they didn't know, or whatever, twins, that again. But it's like your parents weren't anything and all that. And it's like, okay, so she's just like a common trash. What was she called? Scavenger, sorry, and all that. And then you're like, well, actually, the bad guy said that, so we don't actually trust what he says. So maybe there is some, because you do, people going, I can't believe that. I'm like, well, the baddie said it, so we don't necessarily trust him. But then when Matey came in and done the third one, it was like, right, let's try and undo all the things that actually made the second one interesting, and then just go back to, I don't know, toy manufacturer line again of goody baddie, here's a sword, here's a playset. And, no one noticed 5 million ships being made on the other side of the galaxy either.
Yeah.
Yeah, in the dark zone that no one ever goes to anymore for some reason, yet they
can't even find it.
Yeah.
A lot of people couldn't find a lot of places in this, but they found them.
Arse, it was just arse. Anyway.
Princess Leia, though, that was sad.
I suppose it might have been if I didn't know that was,
they couldn't do anything else, could they?
Exactly.
I was just amazed, it made it through to the third of the
I just
films.
found it, I don't know, it's just really weird that the one they kept alive was the one that died in real life.
Yeah.
It was just it was just really bad for that, I suppose. But it was sad. But yeah, I enjoyed them for what they were, but they could have been a lot better.
Yeah. He should have directed them and produced them and written them.
Well, no, not George.
No.
I know. The Protector of Childhood. No, the Protector of Childhood.
And we don't have to worry anyway, because before you know it, there will be an MCU crossover and Doctor Strange will go back in time and break that universe, and then we'll get a decent trilogy to complete the saga.
Could you imagine how many people that would piss off if like someone from Star Wars turned up in Multiverse of Madness? No, but they're different. The world would explode. But well done on watching them.
Thank you.
Got there in the end.
Yeah. Well, I haven't done the solo one yet.
Yeah,
That's a good one. Oh, I like that.
See, I think I might actually enjoy that more because it won't have any of the, or I'm hoping it hasn't got as much of the Jedi nonsense in there that they've pissed all
you're
over.
like Solo's a good film. But people didn't like it because it didn't have that stuff in it.
I just didn't like it because I didn't like it.
See, because I enjoyed Rogue One. I think I said in the last when we last talked about it, it was the only downside is everyone's going to die, but actually it was a good film.
And Matey gets his series soon as well. Old Cassian Andor, that'll
Does
be
he?
coming to Disney Plus soon.
Yep.
The sort of Rebel Alliance wetworks, all the dodgy, seedy stuff. So,
But
I hope they
it
remember
has
that.
also made me realise how well done Mandalorian is because it's still going. Not so much Boba Fett.
Well, Boba Fett was good. It was just that some of that was the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
It was still
The
good
best parts of
episodes,
Boba Fett
were the Mandalorian.
parts,
Yeah.
but we covered that many
times.
times, and we're not going to do it now.
No.
So Brett, what else have you watched this week?
One thing I've been catching up on.
I've got a lot of F-bombs to edit out later on tomorrow, so we need to crack on.
Most of them were from you.
Yeah,
This
they
is
were
true,
your fault.
yes.
You know.
I just felt I needed to get it off my chest. It's been like 2 weeks since I watched it.
I've been catching up on Shudder, I believe it is, the Creepshow TV series. Because
Cool.
I'd watched series
Yeah.
1, and then I suddenly realised series 3 had dropped, and somehow series 2 had passed me by. So I've gone back to series 2, and there's some cracking episodes on there. First, episode 1 has got 2 stories in it. One Model Kid and the other one Public Television of the Dead. Model Kid is about a kid who likes models and dresses up as Bela Lugosi vampire and makes all the kits and stuff, and he's got an evil uncle played by Kevin Dillon who's
Cool.
an alcoholic and takes over and stuff, and he has to get revenge on him. I'll let that explain. And there's another one called Public Television of the Dead, which is now my favourite episode of Creepshow ever, where there's like a public TV station and Ted Raimi is on there with what's it called? The book from the Evil Dead.
The
Necronomicon.
Yeah.
And then they open it and the spirits come out and attack all the people in the public television studio.
Okay, that sounds cool.
And then in the studio next door filming, he's just been booted off the network now because this other lady who's got a more popular show wants his time slot is a guy who pretty much is Bob Ross apart from in name.
Yeah.
And he used to be in the army. They got all that in, and then he helped save the day. And obviously gets his show back at the end. He's doing all the painting. We're going to put a little tree
Happy
here,
little tree.
and all that stuff. Yeah. And Norm Roberts is called, played by Mark Ashworth, but it's basically Bob Ross saving the day. But yeah, massive crossover there with like Ted Raimi with the actual book on there, talking about it, and then all the thing coming out and almost turning into like that. So I don't know how they managed to do that, but it was cool that they did because it's Evil Dead fans, go check it out. And then the second episode is called Dead and Breakfast. Is one of the stories, and it's got Ali Larter and C. Thomas Howe, and they're the grandchildren of this serial killer lady in this old house. And they're trying to get people to come in to the house, you know, like guests hotel, like a hotel, and trying to get people to come in. And not many are. And then they track down this like blogger girl who goes to scenes of like serial killings and horrors and stuff and invite her to the hotel, and she starts slagging it off, and Ali Larter don't like that. So history may repeat itself. And then there's another one called Pesticide, which is really weird, where it's a guy called Harlan King, who's played by Josh McDermott from The Walking Dead. He's the geeky bloke with the long hair. I forgot his name in Walking Dead, but he is hired by Keith David, who's called Mr. Murdoch, to because he's a pesticide guy, to kill all the vermin in this building he's got. But then when he gets there, it's all these homeless people living in the building, and that's what he wants to kill. Does he do it? Does he not? He's also got a therapist played by Ashley Lawrence from Hellraiser, who kind of looks exactly the same. And you're quite impressed by that. And as you watch it on, you realise that she does look exactly the same, and that none of her face seems to really move or anything. So it's like, but you know, each to their own. And that one has a nice twist to it as well. And there's some good episodes in season 2 so far. I mean, obviously, it's Creepshow. It's not June, so you know, go easy on the budget. You know what I mean? It's not. But all well written, some nice little crossovers, nods, and more references than you can shake a stick at. But season 2 is doing very well so far.
Cool.
And I look forward to watching more.
Oh, so that's season 2.
Yeah, I haven't got.
So
I guess I'll say season 2 passed me by. I was like, season 3's out, and I was like, well, I haven't watched season 2 yet, and I know in the next episode Molly Ringwald's in it, so.
There's more and more stuff coming on Shudder as well. I think there was a new film coming out soon, and that actually looks quite good. That's coming on to Shudder.
Yeah, there is a lot. It seems to have upped its game, Shudder. I don't know why. And it's becoming sort of a lot of stuff we're getting through now. If you check out cultfaction.com, a lot of films coming out now are almost, you know, their release date is when they debut on Shudder.
Yeah,
They're not even going to cinema or home release now. It's just straight to Shudder. So they're starting to become a bit of a distribution arm, I guess, really, which is, good for them.
Glad I signed up when I did.
As did I.
So, Paul, what else?
Oh, well, I saw on Netflix a Judd Apatow new comedy. I thought, I don't mind Judd Apatow, 40-year-old version, knocked up, all that kind of stuff. This could be good. Looked at the cast. Karen Gillan. I do like Karen Gillan.
The Bubble. This is on my list.
So Karen Gillan's in it. Well, actually, it's like a cast of millions as well. Leslie Mann in a load of Judd Apatow stuff. Pedro Pascal. David Duchovny. And yet reams and reams of people that have been in loads and loads of films or TV series as well. There's some English actors in there as well. So this is all about coronavirus is going on. Obviously, movie studios still want to make movies, so they've managed to get all the cast from this series of I think it's called Cave Dinosaurs or Cliff Dinosaurs or Cliff Beasts or something like that, all together in a hotel in the UK to basically film a movie, like Cliff Beast 6 or something of the series. And so it's following them through going into quarantine in the hotel for a few weeks, trying to film it, all the shenanigans that take place. And it's really, really rubbish.
No.
Yeah.
It was on my list.
It was on my list to watch.
Yeah.
Is it on your list that you've seen?
No, it's on my list to watch.
Yeah, same here.
No, it's really bad.
I have to say the advert, or the trailer, I should say, on Netflix does make it look bad, but I thought that was...
Yeah, I thought that was the idea of it.
Oh, it probably is the idea. It's probably supposed to be like corny and stupid. It's just crap. They just can't pull it off. It's just... I think we literally got 40 minutes in and thought, this is not bad enough to be good.
Okay, so I'm going to say, you stop there. Stop. You stop there. Stop. It's not ready. Stop there. In between now and next week, Brett and I are going to commit to watching it, and then we'll talk about it.
I was going to watch
see
it
if we agree. Yeah, well, you can. I need a week because...
Fair enough. And I'll do this.
Not at school. Not at school.
I'll go back and make myself watch the whole thing.
Oh, you haven't even said that 40
minutes?
minutes?
It was
I thought you were going to say 40 minutes and then this happened and blah, blah. No.
It was that bad, I literally turned it off.
You just turned it off. Okay. So, by Tuesday next week, we'll all have watched it and see.
Well, I have a challenge. If we're doing that, I have a challenge for you.
Hang on. How long is this film? If you like a 2.5 hour epic.
Lord of the Rings, you say, Damien. Well, coming to a competition next month is the extended director's cut.
No, because I tried to watch this film and I turned it off after 20 minutes.
Okay.
So I was just going to see what other people thought of it. It's on Shudder again.
Okay.
It came out in 2019. It's called Greener Grass.
I don't think I've seen it.
And it's, and I quote, "It's an hilarious deadpan hellscape of competitive suburbia with a boldly stylized, absurdist chain of events that unfurls with increasing fervour after one soccer mum gives another her infant daughter just to be polite." And it's just one of those films. It looks very David Lynch. It looks very a Black Hole Sun Soundgarden kind of thing. I think that's kind of what they're going for. But I think it's just weird, but trying to be weird. I don't think there's a... like normally when you watch something, there's like a weird thing, but it's normally because they're evil, or it's because they've got a motive, or whatever. Whereas this just seems to be like, they've written something and go, right, what would be really weird? What can we do now that's really weird? I know, do that. Okay.
Yeah.
Now what can we do to be really weird? Do that. That'll be really surreal. Go on. But it's well made. The cast all seem to be committed to it, and it's filmed well. It's got a big budget. It's Jocelyn DeBow and Dawn Levy, who I think was Saturday Night Live or around that sort of thing. I don't watch it anymore. But Greener Grass. It's on Shudder or Amazon Prime Shudder or whatever thing it is.
Yeah.
But just watch for about 20 minutes. Well, this is just pointless.
Okay.
Right, Ron.
No, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to see if I can get past 20 minutes on the Greener Grass.
Greener Grass.
And past 40 minutes on
The Bubble.
The Bubble. Okay. So whilst we're on shit films, and I'm not even going to lay down the gauntlet on this one. It's It's on Disney Plus, and it's got Bradley Cooper in, Kate Blanchett, Toni Collette, Willem Dafoe, a host of others. Nightmare Alley. The trailer made it look like a really good, almost, I wouldn't say quite go as far as to say Lynchian, but it made it look like the advert shows is this all real? Is it a dream? All that sort of stuff. When you watch it, it's just a straightforward journey of a con man from his time in the freak show carnival world to doing a full-on, almost psychic,
I saw the trailer for it.
Ghosty kind of seance-y stuff. This is all set, I don't know, 1940s, I think, early, or maybe even early in that 1930s or 40s. No, it's the Depression era, so it's 1920s. But yeah, the trailer makes it look really good, and all, like I say, is it what's really happening, that kind of stuff. But it's not. It's a straightforward con man's journey to getting somewhere and then basically falling flat on his ass. It's 2.5 hours long.
Yeah,
it's sharp.
Because I looked at it and thought it was going to have like some supernatural edge to it.
Yeah, almost. Or even if it's just like a kind of fever, just one of those things where there's a few twists.
As well.
Yeah, Ron Perlman's in there.
I've seen the trailer of that, and I did like the look of that.
Yeah,
but
it looks really good.
So the trailer's not the film it is at all.
I mean, it actually ends how you expect it to end, but there's a callback to some stuff at the beginning of the film. Maybe it's because I went into it expecting a sort of kind of like a, paranormal-ish, just freaky kind of, that kind of film, but it isn't. It's just everything's played straight. It's Bradley Cooper's a con man who hooks up with a carnival, develops a skill to read people, sort of like Darren Brown style. Yeah. Something happens in the carnival that he's based at, so he moves on, ends up in New York, hooks up with this woman who basically cons him at the same time as he's trying to con her. He does the dirty on his missus and ends up back on the streets more or less. But it's just not very good.
It sounds like Grifters.
Grifters is much, much better.
Yeah.
So I looked at the trailer and thought it was going to be a bit like, what is it, the Prestige? Was it the Prestige?
Yeah.
But it's upset because that was quite good.
That was an alright film. Yeah. But this
is that the one where they do magic?
Yeah. This, I'd avoid it, so I won't even lay the gauntlet down, and it's 2.5 hours long. It doesn't need to be 2.5 hours long either. So knock that one on the head.
So one film that I did rent out. I gave it a fair go. I didn't expect anything too brilliant from it. So rented out Scream.
As in the new
one.
Yeah. Not the 1996 classic.
No spoilers though. No spoilers.
No. So
I do want to watch that.
Yeah.
Is it brilliant? No. Is it good? Yeah. It is good. There's some nice touches to it. They obviously still follow the laws of horror movies, which is cool. A few of the old cast are back. There's some twists and turns, and to be fair, I think they did a good job.
Cool.
It made up for a number of Scream films that came out after the original that we've talked about, and I think it actually was a good watch.
Oh, cool.
Is that Prime?
I rented it on one of the like Disney, I think, or Apple TV. I just rented it, bought it.
Okay. Well.
It's cheaper than going to the cinema. So.
Yeah.
I've got one more thing on my list.
Yeah, crack on.
I have now finished Resident Alien.
Have you? See, I haven't gone back to it.
No, I haven't gone back to it.
Oh, you need to.
So since 5?
I didn't even see him go to New York.
No, I haven't. That's the one where he says he's going to go to New York. I think it's 5, isn't it? So there's 6, 7, 8. I'm 3 episodes behind, I think.
There's 8 altogether, isn't it? Yeah. Isn't it? Oh, it gets better.
So again, no spoilers, but is it? So it's
I really enjoyed it.
Sorry, I'm talking over you, but I'm making it sound like season 2 isn't very good. I don't think it's not good. It just wasn't as good as season 1, and it lost its way a little bit.
No, I think it picks up, but it is still that they're very much about. We're getting to know everyone in the town now still.
And that's what we said. That's what was putting us off.
But it is... there's some very, very nice touches. And you're up to a couple of the episodes that are going to be directed by Leah Thompson as well, so you owe it to yourself to watch those. Do it for Leah. Yeah, no, it does well. It's got a nice ending. Season 3 greenlit? Have we announced that?
Don't know. I've not seen any news about it yet.
I'll be surprised if it's not. Because
But then again, season 1, season 2 wasn't announced until quite a way after season 1 finished. So
So
and especially if it's turning into that kind of ensemble cast thing, they've then got to
nail
secure
them all down, haven't they?
all that before they even.
But no, but there's a nice sort of twist at the end. Really enjoyed it.
So maybe we should. So that's our 3 things then.
Oh God,
for this week.
You've got to fit that in between killing lots of giants.
Yeah,
well,
I'm trying to
5
just
giants.
reduce your. Not necessarily reduce your screen time because it's not, but you know what I mean. So, because then next week we can decide whether we're still fans of Resident Alien or not between the 3 of us. I think that's the 3 things: Resident Alien, the bubble, greener grass. To be honest, I'm not sure greener grass is going to get that long. If he's only managed to get through 20 minutes, then I think this,
I might just do a 5-minute jump and say no, I agree, that's rubbish, and turn off.
I might do 25 minutes just to kind of prove a point. So I've got a few things on my list, but I'll go through them really quickly. The Kingsman prequel, I forgot what it's called.
The Kingsman.
Is that what it's called?
Yep.
All right. Yeah. You talked about that a few weeks back, didn't you?
Yeah.
I forgot about that. That's
I went
really
to the cinema the day before it was released on Disney Plus for free. But hey, it was date night.
I enjoyed that. I thought it was a good film. I can't remember much about it because it's been
that.
a few weeks, but I actually remember watching it and going, I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Which is a lot more than I can say for Nightmare Alley. So that's worth watching, Mr. Summers, if you haven't already.
Yeah, no, that's on my list. I totally forgot it was on Disney Plus.
My final thing, I'm a bit loath to say because this could turn into a whole world of pain and conversation.
Uh-oh.
Wheel of Time.
I still haven't seen it yet.
Seriously.
Where have you seen up to?
All of it.
Yeah. It's not great, is it?
No. Just no.
Do you get my thing about the effects?
I don't care about the effects.
They're bad, aren't they?
What effects are there?
Well, there's
wispy
the magic
stuff.
Yeah.
And some lights. But
it felt like it should have been on Channel 5. On one of those cheap budget, almost even a cheaper Xena Princess Warrior or something.
I got no issue with I got no issue with the effects. It's just the story shit. It's the same old nonsense. Some prophecy from 1,000 years ago. Oh, which one could it be? The Dragon Reborn is going to be
know
reborn.
That this is pretty much most fantasy
I know it
stories.
is.
They're all kind of based on something similar.
Yeah, but just piss off.
I mean, I spoke about it at the time.
That's why I was loath to mention it, to be honest.
Yeah.
But they remain very popular with the young folk.
Sure, it does.
The books are good.
They're about like that thick, aren't they? And
yeah,
I'm not going to bother with that.
Okay. So, hot off the press, probably the final thing I'm allowed to talk about tonight before we get cut off. Death on the Nile.
Really?
Yeah, it was a Sunday night film.
Fair enough.
And I think that's the point. It's a Sunday night BBC One drama, but just with a huge budget.
Yeah.
Cast of 1,000 big actors and actresses, and good old Ken Branagh.
Your mate Ken.
Yeah. Well, you can tell they spent a lot of money on it. It looks really good, but give me David Suchet or the old BBC dramas or the ITV dramas.
My reason for not bothering to watch them is because obviously seen so many different iterations of them before.
Yeah, but yay, Sunday night drama.
Fair enough.
Don't go out your way to watch
I forgot one thing that I just remembered. Doctor Who, Legend of the Sea Devils.
Yeah.
I've not watched it.
Did you watch it?
No, I haven't watched any Doctor Who in years. You know my bugbear with Doctor Who.
It's not Sylvester McCoy.
It's him that watches Doctor Who, not me.
You used to like it.
Yeah. Chris Eccleston, David Tennant. David Tennant was probably the last one. Gave up after that.
Matt Smith was good. I liked Matt Smith.
I watched a bit of him.
In bits.
I watched a bit of him.
Yeah. I didn't watch any Peter. What's his name?
Capaldi.
That's the fella.
Peter Granville.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean Capaldi, like Jodie Whittaker, I think has been let down more by script than they have by performance.
So you've watched the Sea Devils?
Legend of the Sea Devils, yes.
Verdict?
6 or 7 out of 10. The good bits are really good. Then it kind of lagged a little bit, and then we got the end again. Because you kind of get that. The setup's good. You get an explanation bit in the middle, and the ending are good. Then you have the other bits around it, which kind of, hey, you two go that way, we'll go over here. It's like the Scooby-Doo moment. You two wander over there, we'll go here. Something will go wrong and some hijinks, then it'll all come back together at the end where we explain it properly. And it's a bit like that. But it was good. You got a bit of the Doctor and the girl, Yasmin, they're kind of, the Doctor addressed what half the population watching it wanted to be addressed, like will they, won't they? And the Doctor does touch on that. Well, touch on the subject of that. Doesn't touch on anything, but it was done well. But like anything, you see that it was alright. Then you get the teaser for the next one, which is something we'll talk about later on. But then you've forgotten about that now. Cause
I think it's really odd that they're going. What was it? It was Christmas now, or last week, or whatever it was. And then it's not going to be again until October. That's a real...
Well, I guess it's schedules, and I think half it was just trying to film it through COVID. So I think some of these might have been a couple of episodes in a series or whatever, and they've had to do what they had to do because, I mean, she filmed it, I think, nearly 2 years ago or something. So she's just been waiting. She's probably just waiting to move on with her life. But is that one been on yet? No. Okay. Yeah. But, it wasn't a rubbish episode, but... Again, it's that thing. I don't know. Doctor Who's a bit like Marvel in some ways. You want to see that stuff. Then once you see it, and then you get the bit at the end, you're like, right, when's the next one?
Yeah.
It's like fast food TV, fast food films. It's that sort of.
Yeah. So, Paul, is there any burning bridge you really have to talk about before we move on to the news?
How I Met Your Mother. Still delving into that. Up to season 6. Well, I think it's season 6. Just put one straight on the other. And Barney and Thingamabob was split up. Even though, because I'm sure I've watched like the last one years ago, or the last two, or the second or penultimate one a couple of years ago, and I think they get back together. But at the moment they split up.
Barney and Thingamabob.
So he's
Who's
got really
Thingamabob. Robin.
Yeah.
All right.
So he got really fat, even though he didn't. But they all see him in like a fat suit, and she's let herself go. They decide to call it a day after they try and break him up, but it turns out that they didn't succeed, but they decided to call it.
I think any conversation that we have would kill some episodes later on down the line.
Yeah, so don't. Yeah.
Has he had his birthday yet?
No.
I don't think so. He's done the playbook.
I don't think.
No, because that's
when Cobra Kai is born.
Right,
so no.
No, we're going to be quiet.
Cool. In that case, we shall move on to the news.
News desk.
The news.
News items. News items.
Oh, I've missed that.
It's been a while, hasn't it?
Straight on to the news. Let's not get all reminiscent about jingles and things. We'll start calling the drop zone back. HBO Max has given a series order to Deadboy Detectives, based on DC Comics characters created by Neil Gaiman, which will reunite Supernatural's Jeremy Carver and Steve Yockey.
Yep, Deadboy Detectives is a fresh take on a ghost story that explores loss, grief, and death through the lens of Edwin Payne and Charles Rowland, two dead British teenagers and their very alive friend, Crystal Palace. So it's a lot like a vintage detective series, only darker and on acids. And no date as yet.
Now, I am very excited about this, but I'm annoyed.
You're annoyed because it's not being played by the same actors that appeared in the episode that they appear in
Doom Patrol. Yeah.
That's why you're annoyed. I knew you were going to say that.
They did a whole episode, which I thought was like a backdoor pilot to this, which was amazing.
May well been.
Yeah, but then they'd recast them all. I still love the fact as well that no Americans know about Crystal Palace. That's also really clever. But they had Sebastian Croft and Ty Tennant and Madeline Horcher in the Doom Patrol Series 3 playing these characters. They kind of had a whole episode where they helped the Doom Patrol who accidentally end up dead, and they have to help them come back alive. I think it's called Dead Patrol, that episode. But they were really good. And you think, oh, this should work. And then they go, yeah, we are going to make it into a series. Brilliant. But we're going to recast everyone.
Well, how many pilots? Loads of pilots do that.
Yeah.
It's nothing new.
Yeah, but it worked. Everyone thought it was amazing. And that was like one of the episodes that got rave reviews.
Maybe they were busy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
or they just don't really they might have chemistry enough for one episode when they're supporting cast.
Yeah, they might be contracted to other things, I suppose, and all that. But it's just really annoying. And again, goes into one of my points that annoys me about DC, but we'll touch on that again a bit later on. But I'm really excited for this. If it sticks to the comics, there is some dark shit coming up if they're really going to do it, because I mean, they're well educated, like private school English schoolboys. They're very literate. They're very arty. They're not like a couple of muppets running around, and they're all often more intelligent than the grown-ups they're dealing with and all that. And
I don't see any reason why they wouldn't.
Yeah,
Because,
it's
so
HBO Max.
well, not just that. The two that did Supernatural before it kind of jumped the shark and started kind of becoming almost meta and talking about their fans, and
Scooby-Doo turning up.
they it was never scary, but it was
Yeah.
in the same bracket graphic wise as a proper horror film, if you see what I
Cool.
mean. They didn't hold back.
I'm interested.
So yeah,
And just looking at notes as well, like, Ruth Connell, who played Night Nurse in Doom Patrol, is going to be in it as well. So you recast,
but not playing the same character.
Yeah, she's playing the character she was in Doom Patrol.
Well, there you go then. Clearly, they didn't have the chemistry. They weren't good enough to carry
they
a
were
series.
busy.
That's why. Or they were busy. I'm going for they didn't have the chemistry.
I'm just going that DC don't know what they're doing.
Well, they might do now.
Yeah, we'll get to that. But sorry, yes, but
Okay,
watch it when it's on. It's going to be good.
if it ever, because there's no air date yet. It's been greenlit. In other news, Noel Fielding is set to star in a new untitled comedy adventure series for Apple TV Plus, based around Dick Turpin, the legendary British highwayman.
So Fielding takes the leading role of Turpin, the legendary British highwayman, in this irreverent retelling. Deck is the most famous but least likely of highway robbers, whose success is defined mostly by his charm, showmanship and great hair. Together with his gang of lovable rogues, Dick rides the highs and lows of celebrity and does what he can to escape the clutches of the thief-taker general. No air date as yet. I can see this.
I don't know. I don't think I can see anyone playing Dick Turpin other than Sid James from Carry On
So
Dick.
he almost has a feel of it's going to be a bit Blackadder-ish, isn't it?
Yeah, Maid Marian and her Merry
Yeah.
Men.
Yeah.
What do we know? What this is being pitched at? Is it?
No.
Is this going to be a 10 o'clock night? Is this going to be like a 6:30
No,
on
none of
Saturday?
that details. It's literally just pretty much what you've got there. The rest of the copy was just
I mean, it's Apple TV. That
Nonsense
to me
about-
implies it's more of a aimed at 25 to 35, 45.
Be interesting though, because obviously with it being Apple, they're going to be playing for a global market, really, aren't they? They're
And the
gonna
soundtrack should be good.
They're going to hope this, but they're going to hope this takes off in America as well, aren't they? So is this the rise
Presumably.
of the Fielding? No, because if Apple are going to do it, they're going to try and pimp it out everywhere, aren't they? So is this the rise of the Fielding now?
He's already big anyway because he's on Celebrity Bake Off.
Well, that's the
over
thing.
here. Yeah.
No,
No,
that's
No, I know.
big out in
It's,
the
it's
States.
PBS America. It's,
No, it's the British Bake Off in America.
yeah. See, I'm not necessarily that fussed on this. I like Noel Fielding when he's on telly
I don't like him in Boosh.
like a panel show
Yeah.
or being
As-
interviewed
as
or
Noel
even doing
Fielding.
Bake Off. I don't really watch Bake Off that much anymore. But so when he's being himself, as in unscripted, or as unscripted as you are on a panel show, don't have time for Mighty Boosh
No.
at all.
I
And
saw it live twice.
good for you. I'll sleep
the-
better knowing
I'm-
that.
On
but
the same tour,
it's not my
and I met
sense
him.
of
He
humour.
was really nice.
Rather, it is. It's just I just don't think that was done very well. So I'm not necessarily that bothered about this. If they do it and it's not trying to be surreal, so they haven't gone for Fielding so they can get that
Yeah.
surrealness in there, then that's cool. If it turns out to be a little bit surreal and nudge, wink, wink to the camera, then I'm out.
I think it's going to be Maid Marian and her Merry Men.
Yeah, that
of thing.
that level of irreverent.
Right, yeah.
I'll give it a go. Don't get me wrong, but that's my
That might-
trepidation that
That
comes
might
from
even
that.
make me sign up to Apple. Keep your Halos. Keep your Halos and your other things.
Yeah,
Halo's not on Apple.
No, what was
that's
the one
Paramount
on Halo?
Plus, isn't it?
What was the one on Apple?
Don't know.
The bloke.
You got all that Tom Hanks stuff that's been going on recently. You've got the not the cleaner, the servant, what's it called? You were watching.
Servant. That's good.
Oh, that's right.
Oh, the Servant. Yeah, I do want to watch that. And that. Oh,
Severance
is it
is
C as well? Isn't it? You keep C. Gary Noel film.
Caesar, right?
I know, but I'm just saying that would probably make me sign up just to at least watch the first.
Okay.
Back to news. What else we got?
Back to the news. Supernatural Netflix drama Locke Key will be ending with its up-and-coming third season.
Yep, so showrunners Colin Hughes and Meredith Averill have announced the third season of the Supernatural coming-of-age drama will be the last, and we're keen to stress that it was a creative decision rather than a cancellation. They say, once we began working on the series, we felt 3 seasons was the ideal length to bring the story of the Locke family and their Key House adventures to a satisfying conclusion. Go on to say, as storytellers, we are grateful that we had the opportunity to tell a version of Joe Hill and Gabriel Rodriguez's incredible story exactly the way we wanted. We're keeping the magical keys, though, for our own personal use. Dirty people. And season 3 is expected to land in autumn this year, which is weird because I haven't gone back to finish off season 2 yet.
I forgot it was on there.
I know. I think I finished it. I'm sure I did.
I finished season 1. I didn't watch.
You finished season
2
1, then I started watching season 2.
Yeah. No, I definitely watched season 2.
Oh, okay, cool.
But I think like anything like that, I spent the best part of the first 6 episodes trying to remember what happened in season 1 and trying to work out who's who. So I don't think I enjoyed it that much. But that might just be me.
I think what you'll see in that, if it does like the comics, is you'll have some one-offs as well over the next few years. You know, like the, because I'm sure they've done like the Key House in like the 1800s. You know, like it all links in together. And
No, you just
and
said
all
they're
that,
ending
but
it.
then-
They're not
Yeah.
doing it. It's just literally.
No,
no,
just
that's
a
what I'm saying.
conclusion.
But they're ending the story of the family.
all right.
And they're
not
keeping the
house,
keys.
But they're keeping the key. So I think you might
You're reading
get
between the lines there.
I'm just guessing, or maybe they won't, but Netflix will go to someone else and go, right, can you make this one now? There's
Okay.
lots of different one-offs and little mini-series comic books that went alongside the main story as it went along and different things. So you may, I don't know, you may see some of that, or they'll try one. It doesn't work because it's not the same family, and that'll be it.
Okay. Right, here's the news that's going to rock the internet, or has rocked the internet, I should say. Star Wars Obi-Wan Kenobi moves premiere back 2 days, but will now open with a double bill.
Yep.
Bill.
Ewan McGregor made the announcement about the schedule change in a video released on social media. Whilst the first 2 episodes will now be released on Friday the 27th of May, subsequent episodes will still drop on Wednesday as originally planned, meaning there will be an even shorter gap between episodes 2 and 3.
Joy!
Disney Plus hasn't given a reason for the change, although it is a holiday weekend in the USA, which could be part of the decision. It does, however, draw some battle lines against rival streamer Netflix, as the 27th is the release date of the much anticipated 4th season of Stranger Things. Like, people can't watch 2 things in one night.
Especially when they're on demand.
Yeah, but they want that buzz the next day.
Yeah, I'm not sure whether Stranger Things has that buzz anymore. That's the thing.
Well, those kids are older than me now.
Slight exaggeration, but I see your point.
I don't know why they changed the date. Maybe they just want to tackle Stranger Things or something. But I still don't work out why they didn't do the first one on May the 4th.
Yeah,
surely it's,
missed a trick there.
Unless they're going to drop something even cooler.
Like
I doubt-
what?
I don't know.
In the world of Star Wars fans, what could be cooler right now than an Obi-Wan series starring Ewan McGregor?
But they also get to plug all the back catalogue
No.
of Star Wars films as well, don't they?
Lando, Space Pimp. Danny Glover plays him in the episode, but Billy D. Williams does the voiceovers. You know, like he's like How I Met Your Mother. You know, like I remember that time back when this happened, and then you see him do it. So you always get Billy D. Williams doing the voiceovers while Donald Glover acts
You said
all
Danny Glover. I was trying
I
to.
know I did.
Hang on a minute.
I know I did.
Surely Danny Glover's older.
Yeah.
Yeah, I meant Donald Glover.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mistake. I was just excited about Lando Space Pimp, the series that I've been trying to pitch for the last 10 years.
Okay, but I think we would have heard about that by now, so I don't think there is anything. So I thought there was going to be much discussion about Star Wars Obi-Wan.
Well, we've already talked about it. We're looking forward
Have
to
you?
it.
Yeah,
Oh,
we're
okay.
looking
You're
I
not.
must just shut
My
off.
biggest thing is that I don't want them to ruin what they've already established in all their other stuff.
Well, they already have. They've done that in the film, so that it's just
See,
fair
and
game
that's
now,
why I
innit?
didn't mention
It's open
it, because,
season on
I didn't
ruining
want
everything.
this conversation.
All right, I'll move on. I'm going to move on to DC to get a complete overhaul before it's finally sold off.
Yeah. The new owners of all things Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman are exploring an overhaul of the DC entertainment. It's been less than a week since Discovery closed its $43 billion deal for Warner Media, joining one of the largest producers of reality programming with one of the most respected entertainment brands under the new moniker of Warner Bros. Discovery. Gee, that's a mouthful. The move would potentially affect DC feature film development in the Warner Brothers Pictures Group, streaming series at Warner Brothers Television, and the creative arm within DC proper, all in an effort to have the disparate, even though
I think it's a bit of both.
yeah, elements more closely aligned in order to maximize the value of the superhero stable. In other words, finding and catching up to Marvel and have all their products aligned and pushing them in the same direction, which is what we've been saying for the last year.
Yeah, they clearly do
Years.
listen to us. Well, you two, because I tend to stay out of the conversation. But
Yeah. So we're saying that no, people are worried about this and saying what could do. I'm like, this would be brilliant. Let's actually put stuff in line. Let's have like the same Batman. Let's have the same Deadboy Detectives. Let's have, if you're gonna put people out there, keep them. Put them on a contract. Build your studio up. I mean, it's took Marvel, I don't know how 20 years. How long?
Yeah.
what was the first? The first
Iron
Man, wasn't it?
was kind of
Which
the
is
main one,
about
yeah.
2007, something like that.
2000, yeah. So 15, 20 years, yeah. It's took them that long to build it up, and now we're getting TV and all sorts and cartoons that link in and everything.
And the world is such a better place for it.
Hey, I'm going to wait my life for this.
Well, people can't have it both ways, though, because the amount of DC films that get criticised and ridiculed, box office flops, and, this
Well, it's
has to be a good thing.
Yeah,
Because the amount of times we've said there's...
everything they've done has been it's always disposable. It's like, there's a Joker film out, but it's not really the Joker, but it is the Joker, but it's not really to do with anything else. Now there's a new Batman film out. It's not really to do with the other Batman films or the Joker, but it's just a Batman film out. I mean, when they were bringing out the Batman Robert Pattinson one, they were on about that they wouldn't mind Keanu Reeves playing Batman and trying to approach him. It's like, you push the one you've got at the moment, don't. And that's been what DC's problem all the time, from the Snyderverse, how that all started and how that went wrong, and everything that's happened since, really. I mean, the CW had the better version with what they did on the TV. At least it had continuity, and it was the same people turning up in the same shows.
Yeah, when they did the crossovers.
And then the crossovers, and all that sort of thing. Were they always brilliant? Not all the time. Could you see the lack of budget sometimes? Yeah, but the continuity was there, and the story, it was all kept tight together, so people could follow it. Even if you watched one show and someone popped up, you might go and watch that show, or you might not. I didn't watch all of them. I never really watched Black Lightning, but when he did pop up, I knew who he was, because he had a show. And you could do things like that and run things along. But the movie side of it's just been awful, really, and it's just been chucking shit at a wall to see what sticks. And like Aquaman 2 comes out soon, and they must be bricking it on what happens on this Johnny Depp Amanda Heard case at the moment, because they're in court now. They got a film coming out that she's in.
Oh, right, I was going to say, what's Johnny Depp got to? Right, okay.
Yeah, his ex-wife, whatever.
Yeah, I know that. I just didn't know she was in the...
The Flash is kind of... All future Flash projects have been put on hold now, because Ezra Miller's run foul of the law, hasn't he? So
he's been replaced.
They haven't announced he's been replaced.
I thought I saw that today.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe it has come out today. But
I thought I saw
Well, they should just give it to
Grant Gustin.
That's the fella.
Yeah.
I'm sure I saw something pop up on Ezra Miller's replacement.
But they've made him in the film's ready to come out though, so because Michael Keaton's in the film as Batman.
Yeah.
And cause it's another. They're doing Flashpoint basically, which we got in about one episode of the Flash where he went back to save his mum. I think they're doing that over the film, and then all how that changes the DC universe. So, in effect, if they did it properly, this could be a good way of rebooting everything that they've paused up.
So that's what we think. So what I've got written here is kind of how I interpreted almost 2 pages worth of stuff.
That's what I think.
But so that last line there about pushing in the same direction, that's what we think this is to do, isn't it?
Yep.
Okay, we'll move on. Classic Doctor Who companions Tegan and Ace return in a new image released by the BBC.
Doctor Who companions Ace and Tegan have returned in an exciting image teasing the series' upcoming centenary special. Jodie Whittaker's time as the Doctor is coming to an end with only a single centenary special remaining. This will finally end in Whittaker's final regeneration. Finally. With a replacement as the 14th Doctor yet to be announced. As we all know, Sophie Aldridge's Ace was the trusted companion of probably one of the worst Doctors to ever grace our screens.
I think you'll find,
McCoy.
Paul, it's written down there, the trusted
Yeah,
companion
and
of
now
the
I
best
know why
Doctor
I'm
to ever
reading out
grace.
this bit. Yeah, he's not the best Doctor. And Janet
Yes, he is.
Fielding's Tegan is best remembered for her time spent with Peter Davison's incarnation. The BBC has now released a promotional image showing Ace and Tegan side by side. It's unclear why the two have teamed up. Yeah. But it's possibly connected with the BBC's new spin-off audio drama, Doctor Who Redacted, which seems to involve a conspiracy theory in which the Doctor's friends are being erased from history. There we go.
I think the sound went a bit funny there, Paul. I'll stop this in a minute, but can you just repeat a few words for me? Can you just repeat the word trusted?
Trusted.
Best. That's it. That's all you need to do. If you could just repeat those two words.
Best.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. Again, this is the best bit of the Sea Devils thing, the little teaser at the end, and you're like, what? Ace and Tegan, two of the more girl power.
Yeah,
Doctor
stronger.
Who assistants.
Yeah.
Strong, rather than the person that needed to be saved every week.
Yeah.
You know,
Or just there to ask questions, or
and
basically
yeah.
be the audience.
Well, let's face it, Sylvester McCoy probably couldn't save her anyway.
And Ace
Didn't need to. He did most of his acting with his face. It was that good.
And Ace has been name dropped a few times through it in recent years as well, because she's got a company or something now. I can't remember the whole thing of what she went off to do, but it's been referenced a few times
Yeah.
or whatever. And so it'd be good to see her back with her baseball bat in hand. Be interesting to see how the BBC like that nowadays. To go attack it, I suppose. As long as she hits Daleks, it's okay.
Yeah.
I'd like to see a kneecap somebody else. But yeah, no, I think it's good, and it looks like a good build up. It'll be a good finale. I think Jodie Whittaker deserves a good finale. She's stuck with it, and
It's been a long time coming.
She's took all the slack and all the abuse about it all, even though she's just going in and reading the script and filming it. Really, the personal attacks and all sorts.
I said this at the time. I felt sorry for her because obviously she's the first female Doctor. People were waiting for either the first black Doctor or the first female Doctor. It turned out to be the first female Doctor, and she was just landed a pile of rubbish as a script. And that was the thing I had against it, is they could have really built her up to be something spectacular, but instead they gave her some drivel.
Yeah, couldn't agree more.
I mean, the big questions now are: will any other companions appear? And who's going to be the next Doctor? Has anyone got any hopes or bets on that? Because, I mean, obviously it's all under wraps at the moment.
I don't have any hopes because I don't care. But it's not in a I don't like watching it. It's just that I don't care.
No, or who? If it was up to you, who would you go for?
Nick Cage. Just, generally, if you ask if
To be
it
fair, he'd
was
probably
generally
do
up
it.
to me, then that would be the best Doctor ever.
I was thinking Patterson Joseph.
Huh?
The Mark's boss from Peep Show. Oh, I got the name totally wrong.
No, I don't know who you mean still. But
Mark's boss in Peep Show.
you can say Mark's boss in Peep Show 10 times longer if you
what
more
else
if you
has he
want.
been
It's not
in?
going to make any difference because I don't watch it.
The boss in the time travel thing we liked that got cancelled.
The boss in the time
The
travel
English
thing.
boss. What's it called when they went back in the little pods?
Oh yeah, I know
Timeless.
you mean. Yeah.
Yeah. Quite a well
What was that
spoken.
called?
Timeless.
Timeless. Yeah, that
Timeless.
was good. That.
I think what about you, Paul? Who would you see as the new Doctor?
So I do it all completely different though.
Go for it. No,
Well, I think they've had quirky ones. I liked Chris Eccleston because he was a bit different, if I'm completely honest. But yeah, I'd have him come in as co-producer and let Idris Elba have a go. Make it more looser.
Without the coat, I think the coat ended up in the Thames, didn't it?
Wow, we can have a new coat now, though, can't
Yeah,
we? Now
that's
it's a
true.
Doctor. Yeah, but make it a bit more gritty. He'd punch a Dalek. None of this running
That's
away
not a
from
bad
him.
shout, actually.
It's not going to be Idris Elba.
I know,
is
but
it?
I like your idea though. Just go something.
You go Will Smith. He wants someone to punch someone.
Yeah. Well,
Well,
slap.
Yeah.
Slap a Dalek.
Take that, Davros.
It's all 70s, that is. Slap a Dalek. I think we'll have a proper Doctor Who going to be the thingy, whatever. Who's going to be the next Doctor Who conversation nearer the time when it's announced? Because don't they normally closer to the time? There's like a short list that kind of starts getting circulated and all that, and it always 9 times out of 10 is one of those people. So I think we can save that conversation.
I don't think it is going to be Nick Cage though.
No.
As much as I would genuinely love
awesome,
to watch that.
Even just like a one-off TV movie, that would be.
Oh my God! I just realised it's been right in front of us all along. Adam Woodgett.
He could be the assistant.
Ian Beale, Doctor Who.
He'd be the assistant.
Well, to be fair, he kind of actually lives in a camper van at the moment, so not through bad times. This is his choice.
Oh no,
He's on tour.
But because he's touring around the country and stuff, so it's not much of a leap from a camper van to the TARDIS.
EastEnders. He was getting ready for Doctor Who.
he's been doing some method acting.
Yeah.
He was like, what's the closest thing I can find to a TARDIS? I know. I'll get a camper van.
You heard it here first, folks.
Okay, so finally in the news, the trailer for Thor: Love and Thunder has dropped. What do we think?
So, I really like Thor, and I'm saying that because you're not a Marvel fan, but the Thor film, well, most of them.
But you liked Guardians of the Galaxy films.
Exactly, and you like Guardians of the Galaxy. They're in this a little bit.
So we were kind of having this semi-conversation earlier. I think I've seen the first Thor film. I think I quite enjoyed it, but I just don't remember anything about it.
Don't worry too much about the second one. Ragnarok's really good. It's the typical, it's a bit funny. It's not all, the stuff that you don't like about Marvel.
It's like Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah, it's more of that kind of ilk to it. And this just looks more of the same. There's a nice bit of the trailer where, I can't remember the exact wording, but you got the guy saying to Thor, if you're in doubt, just stare into the eyes of the person that you love. As he's looking at the Guardians, and Thor's just staring at his face. So, well, not me. I'm not doing it justice, but it's just funny. It's funny, and all the whole build up where he's losing weight like Rocky.
Was there a montage?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a montage.
So he's doing this whole thing, where Rocky does that thing with the ropes. He's doing it with like huge chains to get his shape back in order, and I think he's wearing a cap even with like Strongest Avenger or something. It's just a great piss take of itself. So I'm really looking forward.
Yeah, it looks like he's joined the Ravagers in his downtime because he's got the sort of the red and black on. So maybe he's been. Well, at the end of the last time we saw him, he went off with the Guardians, didn't he? So I guess we'll catch up on his adventures and go from there. But yeah, it looks amazing. I think it's going to have a smashing soundtrack by the sound of it. And
it's just kind of Marvel to let him, prepare for his Hulk Hogan film by beefing up.
I still can't see that happening.
Yeah.
But it looks good. And then you get the little teaser at the end with Jane Foster in Natalie Portman in full for Regala. It'd be interesting where they go with that because
Regalia.
Comics. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
I said it in the American way because most of our listeners are.
It's more Australian, if I'm honest. Yeah. Regalia.
Anyway, you flaming great galars.
Regalia.
He's off down the Yabby Creek.
Flaming great Galaria.
Going out for a pint. And because that was some pretty dark, harrowing stuff with Jane as Thor, because that was when she was battling breast cancer in the comics, and so in human form she was all like frail and weak, and every time she used the Thor stuff, she was okay whilst as Thor, but every time she changed back, she got worse and worse and worse. So I don't know. Maybe we're on for a tragic ending for Natalie Portman in the MCU, or maybe they're just going to ignore that altogether because maybe it's a bit dark to do in a kids' film. But we shall see. But I'm on board. It hits in July, and we've got Moon Knight and Doctor Strange to keep us going before then.
Oh, good.
And yeah, it's going to keep the whole cinemas going because no one goes to watch anything else nowadays.
No.
Well, there was Dune. I went to see it.
Good for you. Okay, so on that note, I think that draws us to a conclusion. You have been listening to the Cult Faction podcast. Yeah, got that right. Episode 55, Back in Business. I've been your host, Damien Hicks. I've been joined by
Paul Hawkins.
And Brett Summers.
Don't forget to check out cultfaction.com for your chance to win some
The complete
He-Man
He-Man
DVDs,
and
not just
She-Ra
some, the complete He-Man.
original cartoon series box sets. Both of them.
VHS.
You will have all of it. You
Look
will
for
own
us.
all the proper
No, he's not
stuff.
finished yet.
No.
Finished?
Yeah.
Cool. Look for us on Facebook. You'll see the Cult Faction rants and discussions page.
On the Twitter, the
We're on the
Instagram,
Twitter.
The tickety-tock.
tickety-tock.
TikTok. That's the go-to page. If you like your 80s and 90s movies and want a little bit of a challenge to work out the film by just looking at 2 or 3 seconds of it, that's where you want to go.
That's where we challenge you. And it's all for fun, no prizes.
Cool. So it's good night from me.
Goodbye from me.
And goodbye from me again.
Superman.
You want it your way, BK, you got it.
Yeah, but that's just bullshit, isn't it? Complete and utter bullshit.
Bosh. Windows and conservatory. Ouch.
He was in Brian McFadden. The what?
Bars?
Bars.
Are you spitting bars? Bars.
Bars. It sounds enthralling. We haven't seen Barry Scott for a long time, have we? Camp Northern guy comes on and starts trying to sell you Tupperware and shit.
He's on the channel.
I
love
love
Peter
mum
Simon.
wants it to- Yeah, but that's what
I
he does
literally
now.
just said Peter Simon. You can hear me.
Did you hear him say Peter Simon? No. I didn't either.
No.
Record. Play it back.
No, we don't.
No, play it back.
You said Northern bloke.